Just a second, guys. I'm coming. Hola. From the west side. It is me, DCThePurpleDiva. Welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Thursday, y'all.
Turn it on.
Sorry I didn't come on last night or say I wasn't coming on last night. Hey, Heaven Sent. But yesterday was a kind of wild day in the YouTube streets. And so I didn't come on. I was around the YouTube streets, but I didn't come on. But today was World Autism Awareness Day. Hey, Matt. And I had on my blue. I still have on my blue, as a matter of fact. And I released a vlog today commemorating World Autism Awareness Day. Normally, on this day, there's a lot of stuff that goes on around the world in regards to autism. But everything today happened online. And I pushed my show back a little bit because everybody is online, late night, because they don't have nothing else to do, But I had to come on and speak my piece today. So I've been listening to a lot of stuff going around. And actually, I can say that I'm glad that I kind of stick to myself and am not a click person. I don't open up too much on YouTube, to protect, obviously, my son. But what I see is there's a lot of, a lot of pretending, I guess. I don't know. People pretending to be things that they aren't. Pretending to have done things that they never did. Pretending that their life is something that it's not. It's a YouTube life. It's YouTube reality. But in reality, everything's something completely different. And you would think, with all the things that are going on, people are losing their lives right now to something. And yet, and still, you have people who still want to fake and do stupid stuff like that on here. Yeah. Since I'm not really involved in the stuff that was going on, I'm kind of, I'm on the outside. I wasn't involved. I didn't jump into it because I really didn't know what was going on. But now that I know what was going on, it's just crazy. And it's sad because a lot of people were affected. And apparently this was something that had been going on for over a year. And ironically, the truth came out on April Fool's Day. Of all days, the truth came out on April Fool's Day. Hola, Heaven Sent, And, we always want to have faith in our people. We really, really do. You know, but con artists are con artists. Yeah, I'm telling you, Matt. You know, because the stuff, it was like, I was just like flabbergasted at the audacity, you know? I'm like, dang, I'm not even, like that. I guess I would be considered bougie, I guess, because I went to school, I went to college, and my dad's a doctor. So that would be considered well-to-do, I guess, or I would be considered bougie, because I speak correct English or whatever. I definitely don't sound like I'm white, but maybe some people I do. You know, However, since when do people pretend to be something that they're not, pretend to be someone that they're not? That part is what just really blew me away. That's the part that just really blew me away. Exactly, Matt. That's what I'm saying. Yesterday was like everything came out, and I'm sure that that's not everything, but enough things were said that it was like, and these are grown people doing this stuff, and they're doing this stuff on YouTube. I mean, okay. Yeah, having things that they don't, live in places that they, saying they live places that they don't live, you know, having jobs that you don't have, licenses that you don't have, degrees that you don't, whatever. Hey, Tutu Thing. Is Jovi still on? I saw that she was on when I went live. She must be going stir crazy. Hey, Darren. Darren, yesterday was the day for y'all. I was so happy. Hey, Emmanuel. It's just, I'm going to just say this. Can we all just be real on here? Whether you're behind an avatar or not behind an avatar. And believe me, I can come from behind my avatar. I don't have no problem doing that. Because I am who I say I am. I look like what I say I look like. I ain't got no reason to lie. Hey, Angel. Happy World Autism Awareness Day. Now here's what I'm going to say, you guys, getting off of the subject of, the YouTube streams. I'm going to say something about World Autism Day and the lighting up blue, because it's kind of very controversial. There are two schools of thought in the world of autism, for those of you who are outside of the world of autism. You have Autism Speaks, which is an organization in the United States. I do not believe that they're worldwide, but I'll just say that there's a major conflict between the organization Autism Speaks and the adults on the autism spectrum and some parents of people with autism. And here's what the issue is. What the issue is that the approach of Autism Speaks is to have pity on people with autism. But I'm going to tell you that I don't know anyone who has autism that wants anyone to pity them, whether they're verbal, high, and what they call quote unquote high functioning, or if they're a nonverbal person. And I think that that's where the disconnect comes in regards to how Autism Speaks handles things, as though people with autism are not able to do things for themselves. And I think that this is kind of a stigma that's here in the United States specifically. So when we have World Autism Awareness Day, many people do not like the puzzle piece being associated with autism, because to some people on the autism spectrum, it's offensive. It's offensive to them because it makes it seem like they don't fit into a puzzle. And the human brain is not a puzzle. You know, everybody's brain processes things differently. So I can understand the feelings of taking offense to it. The other thing is that Autism Speaks tries to say that they speak for, you know, people on the spectrum, but they speak for themselves. And primarily their parents and providers, you know, people around the actual people on the spectrum. The National Society of Autism, the National Autism Society, that is people on the spectrum who run that. And then those of us who are parents and caregivers are there to support them. So I kind of understand the two different ways, and I understand the two different views. And I do understand why there are many people on the spectrum that take offense with Autism Speak. I kind of take offense with them too, because they don't help everyone. And they don't really promote independent living, which is what we should want for all of our kids and our adults on the spectrum. But I'm gonna get off of my pulpit here and preaching at you guys about it. But yeah, I know a lot of people don't understand about the puzzle piece. The puzzle piece, I don't even know who decided on that, but I know that it's very offensive to a lot of people on the spectrum, because, you know, they don't see it as a badge of honor. They see it as trying to pretty much put them into a box, and they don't fit in the box. But back to the matter at hand, the fire sales going on in the YouTube streets. I had no idea that rabbit hole ran that deep. And I still don't think that we even know the half of it, because, again, we haven't seen all of the stuff, but we've started to see some of the stuff. And I think that it's commendable to the people who were actually affected by this, that for the most part, they didn't run off, they weren't run off of YouTube behind this. I don't think anyone should feel, uncomfortable about coming on YouTube and expressing themselves. And no one should feel that coming on here is going to lead to, people doing crazy things up to the point of, getting people fired from their jobs, or, going after people because they support somebody that you don't like, and, putting out falsehoods about people. Just the kind of things that in the real world would have you in court, for slander. And yet people felt free to do it on YouTube. Hey, Terry. So I don't know. I'm hoping that at this particular point, going forward, though I don't think it's going to happen, that people start to own what they've done and perhaps move in a different direction. It's always a hope, but I'm being optimistic. I don't, I think for the people who are affected, I think most of them, they'll be able to move on and, concentrate on their content, grow their platforms, do what they set out to do, but oh yeah, I know it's always going to be that kind of mess. It's always going to be some mess, but I'm sure that there'll be another one again, but this the kind of stuff you would think some youngsters would be doing. You would just, and then it's sad that people trusted people that they shouldn't have trusted. I don't trust nobody on YouTube, but that's just me. I just don't, because I don't know anybody on YouTube. That's my premise. I mean, you can never trust people to that extent. You just got to be careful, because it is social media. And, for some people, YouTube is their livelihood. For other of us, it's not our livelihood, Yeah, I want to get my channel to a point of being monetized. I want all of that to happen. But I'm going to do it with integrity. Do it with integrity. My way to, getting support is not going to be stomping on other people to get where I got to go. I don't have to do all that. There's plenty of room for everybody out here, There's no reason for all of that, because we all bring something different to the table. We really, really do. We all have different experiences coming in here. And I'll keep saying this. The best thing to do is to be your authentic self. Just be you. It solves so many different problems. Some people are going to like you. Some people are not going to like you. You know? But it's not a popularity contest on here. People come to different platforms because they either like the content creator, they like what they're presenting, you know, many different reasons. And everyone's not going to like everything that everyone says, and that's fine. Why it's called free speech. You know, but to go after people, to purposely set out to hurt them vindictively, and for what? But that's why I stay true to myself. That's why I run my chats the way I run them. You know, that's why I stay in my lane as far as the types of videos that I put up. I don't put up nothing, you know, that has nothing to do with, you know, I don't think I put up really controversial stuff. I put up stuff about my life or about things that I'm interested in. Oh, you want to join? Let me see. Let me get my mouse because I don't have my mouse. Give me 1 second, Angel. Give me 1 second. One second. All right. Let me plug my mouse in. Plug my mouse in. Let's see. What am I going to unplug? Unplug this. I'm going to unplug this. 1 second. Okay. I'm going to drop the link into the chat so you can join if you would like. 1 second. Thank you, Miss Tutu Thing Thing, aka Miss Pamela. I try to be. You know, I just try to be me. That's the only thing I can do. That's all that any of us can do, you know. And I mean, and then I heard that I guess some people have bought subscribers. Crazy. All right, let Angel come up. Just 1 second. Hey, Angel. How are you?
I'm trying to just make do, and like you said, you try to be me or be yourself. That's what I just try to do myself. Is that times you probably watch my streams or watched any of my videos, you may notice that I'm not necessarily a so-called autism awareness channel because I've done mukbangs, I've done product reviews, I've done funny live streams, I've done unboxings, etc. It's because I try to be my own self, be my own person, bring things in a way that some people would have never expect or I wouldn't expect, because a couple weeks ago when I was doing a live stream waiting for some Taco Bell to be delivered, and the Taco Bell forgot to include my coffee, I grabbed a bottle of Jones soda and opened it and just spritted right at me.
Right on the stream, huh?
Right on the stream. It's one of the most hilarious moments I've ever done on any of my streams. That was unexpected, and many of the people in the chat said it was priceless.
And see, that's the thing. It's that people, I mean, to me, the whole point of being on here and having a channel is to give people a little of yourself. You don't have to give them all of yourself, but, you know, Why try to be something that you're not? That's hard. It's harder to not be yourself than it is to just be yourself, to me, I think.
Yeah. And you were talking about like the puzzle with autism speaks. I have to agree with you with the whole puzzle piece being offensive. But my thing is, and I just thought of this just before I came. Why don't they have like different shapes to represent how different people are on the autism spectrum?
Exactly. You know, and like I said, I don't even think that the puzzle piece was a person on the spectrum's idea. I'm sure that that was somebody else's idea. I'm like, did y'all even ask them if they wanted this to represent them? And it's like stuck because it's kind of universal across the world now.
Yeah, pretty much.
But today was, I mean, today I did get to see, like in the UK, they had a live on that was kind of telling parents, and then telling also people who were on the spectrum how to deal with anxiety and stuff that they may be having while dealing with what's going on right now. It was I think it was like a 3-hour live. They had like 6 different experts on there just talking about it from their perspective. And it's very interesting that everything in the UK is a ministry. Everything in government is ministry there. I just thought about that. I said, I wonder why they call it ministry. But there, you know, I thought that was really cool that they had that. And I've seen some also, you know, from some of the channels that are here in the United States, because I'm thinking that even the parents who have children who are not on the spectrum, these kids have got to be going stir crazy, a lot of them. And then even more so with some of the kids on the spectrum, they don't understand when you're trying to tell them to not, you know, touch people and to do certain things. So it was interesting how they were trying to give people pointers on how to explain that, and also how to talk about death during this time where so many people are dying. Because I know that for me, and with my son, it was, you know, it took him a while to realize that it was a permanent thing, and that once somebody, you know, dies, they're gone. They're not coming back. But it was interesting because they were talking about explaining that to kids on the spectrum and to kids not on the spectrum with this going on. Because a lot of kids don't really have that concept of what it really means to die. And it's sad that they have to find out in this manner.
Pretty much. And you kind of were mentioning about parents. I kind of told a bit history about my parents, but I never told it fully in depth, because growing up, I had several severe mental disabilities as a youth to early teenager. And during that time, my dad never really did anything to like take care of me. I mean, he tried his best, and all the times that he did, he wouldn't like do things as a normal parent who has an autistic child would, like having the kid have their own space, letting the kid just let their frustration out, because as autistic people, we sometimes make mistakes and like get out of it when we never mean to, because we're in that moment, kind of speak. And growing up, my dad would always like try to calm me down, but he would do it in an aggressive manner. And one time he even put a basket hold on me, and kind of like how police officers restrain criminals by crossing their arms. But my dad did the same thing, but he would like crisscross them even further than each other to put like the serious pressure on both of my arms that would make them hurt after I would be let go. And then later on, my dad put me, tried getting me be put in some form of like service group home, which at that time kind of told me that he wanted to get rid of me.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing that's hard, because I know that for some parents, it's not that they don't want their children in the house. And I don't know about in your situation. I know in a couple of situations that I know, it was more because of their child becoming very, very aggressive, and because they had other children. But eventually their child came back home. It was a temporary solution for them. They didn't want it to be permanent, you know. But
Well, if 10 years is your opinion of temporary, then it really goes to show you, because in 2003, I was separated from my dad and brought to my Auntie Kelly's place down in Bemidji, Minnesota. And in that same year, I got separated from my siblings, my brother and my sister, because my brother and my sister got picked up by some relatives here from Arizona and brought them down here to the state, and I was brought back to Moorhead, Minnesota, and that's when I was put into a group home as a permanent position. And but I will say that if I didn't get if I didn't get that kind of stuff, I probably wouldn't have gone to help that I needed. But still, we want our parents to be in our lives.
yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't, for me, I don't agree that your dad should have just not been in your life, but I don't really know what his situation was, because it sounds like he didn't have any of you guys. He let all of his kids go.
Yep.
So so that's probably why that happened, because generally when it happens when they only are having the child on the spectrum in a group home, they usually are only doing it temporarily, or until they can get their child to a point where they're able to you know be in the house and not get aggressive. And that's generally through very, very you know strenuous adaptive behavior therapy with them, because I do have a friend
Mm.
whose son, they did do that, but then he came back home. He was gone for a year. He came back home. He was on his meds, and there was never any other issues with him ever. He's an adult now.
Yep.
But that happened to be because she was an involved parent, and she also had help. You know, she had because she had like 5 kids. So this was like one of her older children, and I remember when she did it, it was a hard thing for her to do, but when he came back home, she realized that it was the best thing for him, because he was so much better when he came home.
Wow.
But again, you know, I've seen parents who have, adults on the spectrum, and they want them to go into, the assisted living and not be home with them. And it's like they're celebrating because their kid is gone, and I'm like, why is it a celebration? It's not a celebration. When my son leaves, I want it to be because he's able to go and he's able to take care of himself, not because I can't handle it no more. you know and I don't and so that it I try to understand um how some parents do that. And what I have found is that I'm in the minority. That I'm in the minority as far as when my son turned 18. I didn't think, oh, he's out of here. Doesn't matter that he's on a spectrum. I didn't even think about that didn't even cross my mind. But I found that I'm in the minority, that many people, as soon as their children are 18, they hand them over to the state because they don't want to deal with it anymore.
Well, I kind of was handed to the state in 2003 when I was 13.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but I think that had more to do with your father not being able to take care of any of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so and I think that was the reason why. And then it may have been that the other relatives didn't know if they could take care of you, and they probably thought that was going to be the best thing for you, so that you would be able to be who you are today.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a blessing for you, but I'm glad that you were able to get yourself out of that situation.
Yep.
And now you're able to see your sister. You were able to reestablish your relationships with your siblings.
Yep. Because now I'm closer to family more than I've ever been.
Yeah, but the thing is that even though you guys grew up apart, I know your siblings are very proud of you.
And they are.
Because like my son is an only child, but he has cousins who are very protective of him. They're like brothers to him.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Mahogany.
Hey, Mahogany. Hey, Tap.
Terry. Mr. Terry.
Well, MATC.
No, Mahogany. Are you talking Mahogany? Or are you talking about Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. A wild boy. Because he's a wild boy. But how are you doing with, having to be inside so much right now, Angel?
Well, other than watching TV, I say pretty comfortable, but there's a few so-called drawbacks or like bad things that have came into play. Like if you've noticed recently, me not doing very many streams.
Yeah,
It's
I
because I
noticed that
don't
you
have.
haven't been on. What's been going on?
I don't have a computer because not this past weekend, the weekend before, I had accidentally dropped some coffee onto my computer, and I tried drying it up as fast as I can, but I wasn't quick enough because the coffee went into the hardware and completely shutted my computer entirely down. And so I filed a claim to Square Trade because I had the Square Trade Protection Plan extended warranty on my computer that I had bought from Office Depot. And when I filed it last week, I got a reply email just this past Monday where they said that my computer is not going to be repaired because it's like beyond that. And instead, they're going to be sending me a reimbursement check for the cost that I paid for the laptop. So I'm without a computer, and I'm going to have to get an entirely new one.
Okay, but you'll be getting the money so that you won't have to come out of your pocket for it. So that's good.
Yeah, because I'm getting reimbursement for the cost I paid for the computer that I sent in to see if it could be repaired. And I paid about $954 for it. So whatever computer I get, I could use that part of the money towards the computer,
Yeah,
or use part
yeah,
of
and
it
you can
if
probably
it
get a
costs
pretty
more than
good.
that.
You should probably be able to get a really good deal right now too.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, a lot of companies are doing like special online offers to help people entertain themselves with this kind of situation going on.
Exactly.
Thank you for saying that. Like Mahogany, she says, "Hey, Angel Boo, how are you doing, hon? I've been thinking about you. Glad to hear you, love. I love you too, Mahogany. Thank you for the compliment and the nice comment."
Yeah,
But I did have a great birthday after all. Even though I did not get to do what I wanted, which was go to Dave and Buster's, I did have a fun time with my family.
yeah. But is Dave and Buster's allowing people to get delivery from there right now, or
No. It's pretty much closed entirely. No delivery option for Dave and Buster's because Dave and Buster's is pretty much like a Chuck E. Cheese.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's too bad for them. But hopefully, hopefully they are at least partially compensating the employees, but probably not, knowing Dave and Buster's, because a lot of their employees are the waitresses and stuff.
Yep.
That really sucks, because they said over 9 million people filed for unemployment this week.
Yeah, I earlier this morning I saw the number was at 6.8, but if it just skyrocketed to over 2.5 million in just this day alone, then
Well,
she's
Disney announced that they're going to furlough some of their employees, and a couple of other companies said that they're going to furlough some employees. Because I guess up to now they've been paying the employees, but now they're not going to pay them.
Oh,
Probably
wow.
like the people that work in the parks.
Oh, yeah, kind of like the ticket attendee or the person at the gift shop.
And in the restaurants, because I have a friend that is a chef in one of their restaurants, or assistant chef in one of their restaurants at the Disneyland in Anaheim. So yeah, that means that they're going to have to file for unemployment. So they're probably adding them into the number, and I'm sure probably Six Flags is probably going to follow suit, and they own how many amusement parks around America?
Because I know Universal had closed early on. I know Disney closed all its theme parks.
Yeah, and Six Flags closed all of their stuff. They closed Magic Mountain. They closed Six Flags over Georgia. The one in Texas, Great Adventures, King's Dominion in Virginia, Cedar Point in Ohio. All of that's owned by Six Flags. One company owns. It didn't used to be owned by one company, but that one company bought all of the rest of them. Because like King's Dominion in Virginia was owned by itself. They bought them. They don't own, but there's Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens is closed too. So there you have it. And they have 2 Busch Gardens. They have one in Florida and one in Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah. So if Disney's about to do that, then all the other ones are going to be doing the same thing. They're all going to be doing the same thing. So
the proper term a lot of people use is follow suit.
Yeah, and they just now told people, like, the people who have the annual passes for Disney, that they're going to extend their expiration date into next year.
Oh.
They're not going to give them no money back. They're going to continue to charge them for their pass, and they're just going to give them extra months. That's how. That's how Disney's rolling.
So basically, however long this lasts, they're going to give those number of months to the pass holders an extended period.
Yep, into 21. So I guess if they're shut down for 3 months, then they'll get 3 additional months into 21. But,
oh wow.
Oh, there's a New England Six Flags too.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
I didn't even know that, because I knew about I knew Great Adventures was owned by them. I didn't know that there was one up there either. See, so all of them, they own. Like I said, Six Flags Corporation owns just about every amusement park in the United States. The only ones they don't own is Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, and the Disneys.
Wow.
But they own everything. Oh, and obviously Universal.
Yeah.
But they own everything else. Everything else is Six Flags. Everything else is Six Flags.
Wow.
I'm just listening. I'm just reading what they're saying in here.
Oh, and the other thing that I've been doing, and I've been making this like a nightly routine, because until I can get my own pet and do my own thing, because I heard that autistic people have a pet as their so-called buddy when there's no one to talk to or no one around, and they're feeling stressed and they don't know where else to turn to, where else to go. I've heard pets is often a really great soothing thing for autistic people. So what I've been doing is I've just been cuddling with my plus bear from one of my favorite shows, Bear in the Big Blue House.
Oh, that's so cute. Is it I think check about adopting them from like the shelters, because they've been, at least I know here, they've been offering them to people to adopt.
Well, the sad thing is here in the apartment building that I live in,
Oh, you can't
the only
have
way.
one there.
Well, the sad thing is that the apartment building that I live in is that in order to get a pet, the only way to get one is to have a doctor's order as a support animal.
Ah, so you have to wait until you go see your doctor.
Or wait until I can move into an apartment that can just allow me to pay a small deposit fee and a monthly rent fee for the pet to
Yeah,
take the space.
because that's what most of them do. So the apartment where you are is they only allow pets if there are a support animal.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
And it has to be written by a doctor as well.
Yeah, and right now nobody. Yeah, right now you have to wait until this is all over.
Yeah, which would have to be until my lease is up, because my lease expires at the end of July, and I'm currently in the beginning process of looking for a new apartment.
Okay, so you're looking for a place that'll allow you to have a pet.
And also everything that what I'm looking for within unit with enough space for my YouTube channel, and a great kitchen setup, and an awesome appliances. Even though the stuff is here is okay, there's not enough counter space.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's great, Angel. I mean, because I mean, this is your first place and you're already ready for your next place.
Hell yeah.
You like I've been waiting for a long time. It's time to move.
Well, I don't hate the place where I'm living at, but it's just there's a lot of things that really just don't fit with me. Like the one thing is with the pet, of course.
Right.
The other thing is that there's a high cost in rent that really is like astounding. That really makes you think, why don't they put anything else? Because here where I live, rent is $3,800 a month.
I'm
Yes,
sorry, what?
$3,800 a month.
3,800
Yeah, $3,800 a month.
for a one bedroom?
Yeah, but one bedroom and the one bathroom. And it's because this place offers support assistance for autistic people. That if you need help with cooking a meal, if you need help trying to create a budget, if you need help with trying to plan ahead, or if you need help with trying to get things cleaned up, they're here to help you when you need it.
Right. But you don't need any of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of stuff I try to do myself, but I need help on small things. But a lot of the other stuff I don't need help very much on.
Well, it sounds like, yeah, it sounds like that you're ready to move to a place that's a little bit more independent, where you don't, where you can, call for someone if you need someone, schedule an appointment. But for the most part, you don't need to have that 24-hour around the clock assistance.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, and that would save you a lot of money, because that is pretty expensive.
And at first, I was kind of hesitant of coming where I'm at, but it's just but me moving from a city that I lived in for 24 years to a whole new city that in the state that I was born in, but did not grow up living in, was kind of was kind of a big change, and I just didn't want it to move to a cheaper apartment, but then have it be hard for me to know my way around the city. So that's why I came here, to try to get to know the city a bit more and try to improve on things like my vocational skills and my cooking skills and everything. Just a small bit, but I just don't need all that stuff that, as you said, 24-hour assistance.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like you moved there, because you were moving for you really to a new place, and you weren't sure how much assistance you were going to need. But now that you've been there, you see that you don't need that much assistance, and you are more comfortable moving to a less expensive place where you don't have all of that expensive, because you're confident that you can do the things on your own.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, and it makes sense, because I forgot you moved there from Minnesota. So yeah, that was a big shift. And especially for you to then also be living on your own for the first time, it probably was a big adjustment. So I think you made the right decision by doing that for the first part of the time that you got there, until you got familiar with it and you're comfortable. And now you know that you don't need all of that support, and you can go ahead and move out on your own.
Yep, exactly.
Makes perfect sense to me. But
Yep.
it's really a blessing that you were able to, afford that type of living, for this period of time. And now you'll have that money freed up for you to be able to do other things with it.
Yep, because whatever the cost is, that would equal to, in the 12 months that I'll be here, come the end of July, I'll be saving far less, because $3,800 times 12, I believe, is like 53 or 55,000, if my math is correct, or maybe more.
Hmm.
It's hard for me to do mathematical equations that big in like a fast time, but but I know that it's like somewhere around there.
Well, 3,000 times 12 is 36,000. So then you just take the 800 and you multiply that by 12. And then so that is 6. Then so about 52.
Close enough.
Yeah. It's close. You close. You're around. Yeah, you're around the same. It's over 50 grand.
Yeah, and when I find the place, I'll be saving a lot more. Because the place I'm looking at, I want to have it be anywhere from $800 to $1,200 a month.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's what you're paying. But when you explain what you're saying, because for one bedroom, even in expensive California, is going to be under 2 grand. Maybe probably the most you would be paying, and then you're in Arizona, you shouldn't be paying more than 1,500, and 1,500 to be luxury apartment.
Yeah.
Because I do know that's the one thing I do know, is that rent is cheaper in AZ than it is in CA. It is. But I'm glad that that you're finding things to keep yourself occupied. Because I know that my son is trying to find things to keep himself occupied too, because he can't work right now either, and it looks like he may not be able to go back to work any earlier than May, if he can go back in May.
Well, the job that I had before we were put on hold, they've been like sending a weekly email to everyone, and they're going to continue doing that. So I'm still with the company, but for right now, many of the people within the arena that I was working at are on hold for right now. But the good thing is that no one has been like let go of their position or have been removed from the company or anything
that
like that.
that is
They're
really,
still
really good. I
employed.
know that in a lot of the situations, like if it's arenas where like sports teams are playing, in a lot of those situations, I know the owners of the sports teams are like giving money so that the arenas can pay all of the staff in arenas, because I know they're doing some of that here in Los Angeles too. So that's good. I'm glad that they're keeping up and communicating with you guys.
Yep.
Were you able to file for unemployment?
I did file, but I was unfortunately denied of qualification because they say I didn't work long enough. But I do have the letter still, and I'm going to be giving them a contact because the place that I worked at said that I should try to do some form of like resubmission or something like that. I forgot what she said because
A
it was only a
rebuttal.
5 minute conversation.
Yeah, you want a rebuttal.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I would do that. You know, but do you have your other money? Do you still have your other money coming in?
I know that back on the 27th, the company had sent everyone a paycheck for the hours that they did an hour or the days that they were supposed to work from not late of January, late of February until March 13th,
Okay.
and that was the previous pay period check that everyone received. So I don't know if I'll be receiving because the next paycheck that everyone would be getting would be tomorrow, and I don't know if I'm going to be getting everything. But the good thing is that I had set it up to where my checks are automatically deposited onto my debit card.
Okay. And what about, do you still get your Social Security, or did you lose your eligibility for that?
I asked to be off of Social Security
Okay.
back in 2014.
Okay. So you're on your own.
Well, can I tell you the reason why? And if you want this to be the last few minutes of the stream, because I know you usually go anywhere from an hour to an hour 10, I'd be fine.
Yeah,
And I'll
go
tell you
ahead.
why
Go
I asked.
ahead. No
You
problem.
see, back in 2014, when I had visited my dad, and my dad had said that since I'm a Native American, that is part of the Pima tribe, everyone that is in the tribe or the reservation gets what is known as a per capita check every quarter of the year. And in 2014, when my dad had said that my per capita check had arrived, I didn't even know anything about this until he had mentioned it to me in 2014. And I even asked my dad if he could try to get a transcript of how much I had in my account because at the time I was put under a protected persons account
Mhm.
because I had guardian and the conservator at the time. I asked my dad if he could try to get the balance of how much I had, and he went ahead and got my balance. And lo and behold, I had almost 190,000 in there. And so I brought this information to my social worker and my guardian slash conservator. And basically, what they had done is they contacted my tribal people here in Arizona, and then they've used that as my form of resource money in addition to my Social Security. But then later on in 2014, I asked for my Social Security to be removed.
Okay, so you get a stipend every quarter.
Yeah, because I'm part of the Pima tribe reservation here in Arizona.
Okay, well then okay, then you're set. That's good. I'm glad to know that, Angel, because I was a little concerned.
And I don't know what stipend means in your word, but it's just for me. I kind of did not know exactly what
Well,
I didn't know I
it's
was
similar
getting
to
all
like
this.
with the people who live in the state of Alaska. They get a stipend because for living in the state of Alaska every year.
Oh,
So what you get is really the stipend that you're getting is really reparations that the United States has to your in the treaty to your tribe. It's money that the that the government, U.S. government owes your tribe for stealing their land.
oh. I
Yeah.
did not know the full history, and I often had people tell me about being like excess money from the casinos. I mean, if that's part of the whole per capita thing as well,
Well, see, the
then I
thing
guess I
is
don't.
well, see what happened is that they now that's what how they're able to have the casinos and all of that money that comes to those casinos. They part of that money goes back into the casinos, but then part of that money is paid out to all of the members of the tribe. So as long as the casino's making money, you get money. And my understanding is that the casinos that are on reservation land are still operating. They did not shut down.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true of the one in Arizona, but I know the ones in Florida, unless they finally shut them down, we're still operating. Now the ones here in California shut down because we have a few that are on reservation land here. 3, I think.
Um. Huh.
But yeah,
Wow.
but that's the money that comes into through the casinos, all that money that they get, a portion of that money is set aside and paid out to the members of the tribe.
Yeah, because on average, each person gets anywhere from like the 2,500 to 3,500 check every quarter. But with many places being closed like it is, the next quarter check might be a bit smaller than what the Native American tribe members are used to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless they're going to take money from someplace else, they may cut people's amount. You
Wow.
know,
Yep.
but yeah, because this quarter will end in March, so you'll get ended in March, so you'll get the payment, I guess, sometime coming up.
And I think that this next quarter will be a bit low because things started to slow down for a lot of companies and casinos back in the mid of last month.
Yeah, so it'll probably be a little smaller because of the last month of the quarter, and then the following quarter will probably also be small because nobody's open this month. Coming, April. Pretty much, I mean, it's like pretty much a lot of things around the country are pretty much, shut down if they're considered non-essential businesses.
Yep. But you definitely taught me a lot in the last couple of minutes that I didn't know about, and I really do appreciate the information that you have given to me. Because I just didn't know that I was getting this kind of stuff until 2014. But when I found out about it, I didn't know exactly how I was exactly getting it to begin with. Because I heard about the casinos and the reservations, but the information that you had explained to me extensively is really something I didn't even know about.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that the basically the casinos that are on the Native American lands, they're considered sovereign, you know, tribal lands, and they basically operate on their own. They don't pay any federal taxes or anything on anything that they get from there. That's part of the deal. That's part of the deal is that that's their money, completely their money. So, and part of that is that they're making sure that the people, you know, the descendants, that you guys get that money. So I didn't even know that's how they did it. So you educated me on something too. I knew that Native Americans got some types of money, but I wasn't sure how that worked in regards to them getting money from the casinos, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because there are so many casinos, and I think a couple maybe on the reservation because there's the Talking Stick Resort Casino in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I believe there's another one in maybe Mesa, Arizona. I'm not sure, but I've heard a few of them, but I don't know how many casinos there are exactly. But do I know how many are probably on within the reservation? No, I don't.
Yeah. Yep. They do what they want on they do what they want on the reservation land. That I do
Yeah.
know. Because like even when it comes to doing real estate lending, most lenders do not want to do loans on reservation land, on any tribal land, because they do not want to have to deal with the Department of Indian Affairs. I know because I did in my entire career of working in real estate lending, I did one loan that was on tribal land, but the person was a Native American. But we still had to deal with the Department of Indian Affairs because they had to make sure that nobody was getting that piece of property that was not in fact a part of the tribe. So yeah, like I said, they have their own little rules. But thank you for coming up tonight, Angel. I'm glad that you're doing well, and I'm glad to see you back on here. At least now we know why you haven't been around.
Yeah, because I don't have a computer, but I'll be getting another one soon. Just have to find the right one, and if it costs more or it costs less, I'll have enough to cover it. Whether it's more than the amount I'll be getting for the reimbursement.
Oh, you're barging right now, Angel. I can't hear what you're saying.
What is about that, and if it's less, it just means extra money for me to spend on what I want for that computer or for myself.
Okay, now you pop back in. All right. Well, thanks for coming up. I'm about to end it.
Say good night, Bear. Good night, everyone. See you all on the next stream.
You.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys. See, I have on my little my head wrap. David wants to come around. And I have on my blue. We have on our blue. Where it is. Yeah. I had this on earlier. We lit it up blue. But anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you, Angel, for coming up and talking to us. I'm glad to know that you're doing well. I'm glad to know everybody is doing well. We're all staying safe. We're all staying inside as much as we possibly can. It's okay to go outside and get some air. I think we all heard the thing about, now we should be wearing our masks. I don't know what I did with one I was wearing today. I had a mask on today. It's somewhere around here, but I have more. But if you do not have a mask, then, you can get the ones that are made. There's all these YouTube videos. There's people selling them on YouTube. I might make me a couple too. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Made it through another week. Almost. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. All right, guys. Bye.